They claim that dedicating just half an hour to enjoyment daily isn't worth enduring the remaining 23.5 hours of stress, unless you opt for half an hour of amusement followed by solitude. Engaging with a contemporary woman can resemble attending a paid job interview for a position you neither require nor desire. If you aim to internally destabilize a society for generations, transferring authority to women through gynocentrism will undoubtedly lead to society's repeated downfall rather than its resurgence from adversity. Feminism caters to women, while gynocentrism appeals to men who exhibit excessive deference, and when these two forces merge, society spirals into unmanageable chaos. This is the predicament we find ourselves in today.
Harem System. Women argue that it's unjust that men can engage in promiscuity while women cannot. Imagine a scenario where all men are coerced into participating in a monogamy revolt, dividing women based on assortative mating principles, where highly attractive individuals pair off with their counterparts, and less attractive ones do the same. This would ensure that only the most dominant males do not monopolize reproduction. Women desire the silverbacks to reproduce, except for their inclination to engage with lone males to diversify their genetic heritage, as silverbacks cannot effectively oversee a harem. Silverbacks consciously accept the notion that infidelity is inconsequential as long as their harems boast a larger female contingent compared to the average woman's presence within their harem. Whenever a contemporary woman undermines her spouse or partner, approximately 20 to 60 traditional men relinquish their trust in women and commence distancing themselves from romantic involvement. In ancient hunter-gatherer societies, the leader of the tribe theoretically had the opportunity to establish a harem with all the women in the group. However, this idea remained theoretical, as they recognized the consequences of such an arrangement. It would have left other men feeling isolated, which could have eroded their morale and incentive to contribute to the tribe. Consequently, they might have departed in search of better prospects elsewhere. In simpler terms, this scenario could have swiftly led to the collapse and eventual extinction of the entire tribe. Make women work for it. Many modern women fail to grasp a fundamental reality. If they wish to attract successful, well-off men in today's world, they must reconsider the concept of no-fault divorce. The knowledge that a woman can engage in infidelity or simply choose to end a relationship because she isn't feeling it anymore, and subsequently claim a significant portion of a man's lifetime efforts, is precisely why I never pursued remarriage. As more women adopt a lax attitude towards fidelity, an increasing number of men will hesitate to commit. How many men want to commit to someone likely to betray their trust through infidelity? Furthermore, how many men want to wed a woman who could potentially leave them, taking a substantial portion of their assets with her? Men are refraining from commitment because they are realizing that the risks far outweigh the rewards, and the effort isn't justified by the outcome. In numerous cases, women emotionally detach from a relationship months before their partners even realize something is amiss. They meticulously plan their exit strategy, down to the last detail. Once everything is in place, they execute their exit plan, leaving the man blindsided. Men should be actively distancing themselves from the matriarchal relationship model. The matriarchy and its surrogate, the state's use of force, have become adversaries. Instead of heeding feminists' advice about what men should desire, society would have been better served by listening to men when they expressed their desires. If women choose to transform themselves into something unattractive to men, they should not be surprised when men no longer find them appealing. It was their choice, and everyone must accept the consequences. When a woman's sole perceived value lies in her physical appearance, and she possesses no practical life skills, her value diminishes daily, leading to a future marked by bitterness, solitude, and rejection. Women's inflated sense of self. A man's existence does not revolve around serving as the provider for a woman and children. Men should discover their purpose and decide if that aligns with their desires. Lust presents a significant challenge, as societal norms have blurred lines. Society has complicated the connection between men and women, making it increasingly challenging for them to come together. Lust is a powerful obstacle for many individuals to overcome, just one example of the many societal hurdles. Rather than adhering to feminist ideals about what men should desire, society should have paid heed to men when they articulated their desires. If women choose to reshape themselves into something that men find unappealing, they should not be surprised when men turn away. This was their choice, and they must accept the consequences. To navigate relationships with such women, a man must adopt an attitude of detachment, refrain from inquiring about her activities or whereabouts. If she departs, do not inquire about her plans or return time. Avoid asking her questions, including her dining preferences, and so forth. Most importantly, never inquire about a woman's thoughts or feelings toward you. Never ask her if she loves you or desires intimacy. Always allow her to initiate intimacy. I recently had a conversation with a friend, and he shared the following perspective. While I'm not sure if this holds true or is applicable in today's world, here's what he said. There's a unique satisfaction in letting a woman know that you're not in a hurry. It's like saying, relax, we have all the time we need. The expression on her face at the moment is priceless, far more rewarding than any intimate moment you might share with her. Some women tend to believe they hold all the cards when it comes to intimacy, but that's not necessarily the case. By taking this approach, you essentially reset the balance of power. You dictate the pace of intimacy, not them. If she tries to initiate physical affection, it's essential to remain steadfast and not give in immediately. Kindly ask her to wait and shift the conversation elsewhere. This approach can be empowering. Women today desire to be stronger on both an emotional and physical level. The distinction is that if a woman is stronger than her male, she would still go to the stronger man's crib without protecting the weaker man. If the male were stronger than his wife as normal, he would shield her from anyone in her path and even agree to take the beatings, and then later accompany her to his crib. To giving child custody to women while denying men equal freedoms, such as the right to vote, their children, the ability to defend themselves when harmed, the obligation to consistently make financial contributions, and the freedom to refrain from deciding when it's appropriate to address women or use the term weirdo. To have to bet where a yes is a yes and a no is a no because women put us to the test for giving up too quickly, or women can insist we sleep with them, or they seek it outside and feel quite justified in doing so since we dared not to sleep with them. If they are successful, as they claim to be, then why do they only get jobs that need to fill quotas, and standards must be compromised for their sake, whether for the military, firefighters, police officers, and even everyday employment that must now accommodate women's needs and no longer pay men for their strengths? Double standards in the workplace. When women work in a company, there are often regulations regarding the weight of items, the number of individuals required for lifting, and similar safety measures. However, some argue that these regulations can inadvertently affect job dynamics. These regulations might limit a man's ability to demonstrate his capabilities fully. Some believe that if there are quotas or affirmative action policies in place to promote gender equality in the workplace, they should be applied across the board. This means that women, just like men, should be encouraged to take on physically demanding roles, such as those in sewer maintenance or on oil rigs, if they choose to do so. The idea is to ensure that equality applies to all aspects of work, not just the ones women prefer. Furthermore, there is a concern that over generations, some physical capabilities that were once more prevalent among women have diminished. In the past, women were known for their physical strength, but contemporary beauty standards often prioritize different attributes. Critics argue that society sometimes fails to provide constructive criticism when it comes to addressing these issues, which can hinder progress. Instead, they believe that honest discussions should be encouraged without resorting to name-calling or ridicule, or calling men misogynists just because they're calling out the double standards. If you don't want to do heavy work to keep your nails from getting ruined, then simply stay at home. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you can be the first to know when my new video drops. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.